Happy Independence Day. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. With fear for our democracy, I dissent. Those are the words that Sonia Sotomayor wrote in her minority opinion on the presidential immunity case ruled on by the Supreme Court. They ruled that presidents have immunity from criminal prosecution for any official act. Unfortunately, John Roberts, the Witch King of Angmar, writing for the majority, offered no bright line test to explain how to determine which acts are official and which are prosecutable. Not only that, apparently the Blackrobes have decided that you cannot consider the intent of the president in determining whether the action is criminal. I'm not a lawyer, but it seems bizarre because I thought intent was an essential part of felony cases. It's how you determine, for example, whether someone committed murder or voluntary manslaughter or justifiable homicide. Now, Republican talking heads say that Democrats and legal experts are just being histrionic by offering examples such as a president ordering the Navy SEALs to kill a political rival. But you don't have to look at such an extreme case to see the damage this ruling is capable of doing. Last month, Donald Trump's lawyers were arguing that the act of creating fraudulent slates of electors for the purposes of engaging in a criminal conspiracy to overturn an election was somehow not a criminal act. It's stupid, I know. Now, just a few days into July, after that ruling, those same lawyers are arguing that a criminal conspiracy to create a fraudulent slate of electors constitutes an official act. Not that it isn't criminal, not that he didn't participate in a criminal conspiracy, but that he's immune from prosecution because at the time he engaged in it, he was president. I think Sotomayor's warning understates the danger of this ruling. It hands a scepter and a crown to whoever occupies the White House. And I don't see any way back from it. So I have two thoughts on this July 4th as the fireworks and celebrations wind down. First, I think it's interesting that conservatives see this as a win for Trump. After all, Democrats hold the White House and will for another half year. So if you're a Republican and you aren't losing your mind at the fact that the Supreme Court just handed Joe Biden carte blanche to do whatever he wants without facing any consequences for the next 6 months, then you know if something is true that you won't admit to. The only reason Republicans aren't afraid of Joe Biden abusing his criminal immunity, the only possible explanation, is that they know that none of the sleazy, criminal, underhanded things he's been accused of are true. Because if Sleepy Joe Biden really were the head of a criminal conspiracy, an organized crime family, then the Supreme Court ruling would be the end of Donald Trump and the end of the Republican Party. But you're not scared, are you? You don't expect to wake up tomorrow and find that Trump and half the Republicans are sitting in windowless cells in Guantanamo, because you know that for all your whining and crying, Joe Biden is just a run-of-the-mill, milquetoast, elderly corporate Democrat, which sucks, but it sucks in exactly the same way that every president has sucked for the last 50 years. Nothing special. Second, no matter who wins in November, the next president of the United States may or may not abuse those powers. He may not see himself as an unlimited king. But the powers are there. And eventually, it'll be used. Eventually, it'll be abused. No one should be above the law. There's no point in having laws at all. So I hope you've enjoyed your beer and fireworks and hot dogs. But a part of me feels like this national birthday is kind of a posthumous celebration. I mean, happy Independence Day and all. I just hope it turns out to have been another national birthday and not a wake. I'm Kevin, and these are my sinister thoughts.